Hello everyone. Wanted to continue my World Cup history because I'm going out of time now. Only a few more days for the World Cup, and I'm still after on my third World Cup. And very happy. I mean, Afghanistan. I've got Australia on the ropes. A little bit of a break now, and I thought I will put my World Cup history in that time. I mean, obviously, I've had said about Afghanistan many times, and how Australia are beatable. So let's hope Afghanistan continue. Anyway, the 1987 World Cup, it was called the Reliance World Cup. The first three World Cups were called the Prudential World Cups, and the 1987 Reliance Cup was held in India and Pakistan. That was the first time the World Cup was held outside England. And there were eight teams: Australia, England, New Zealand, West Indies, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Zimbabwe. And in the group stages, I mean, India and Pakistan, I mean, both topped their groups. That's the first time I'm sure that's happened in World Cup ever. India topped the group and Pakistan topped the group as well. And in the group stages, there was a very close match, Australia winning by 1 run. In the group stage, they scored 270 runs. Jeff Marsh got 110 runs. Jeff Marsh, obviously the great opening batsman with David Boone in those times. He's the father of Sean Marsh and Mitchell Marsh, who plays for Australia now. And India 269. I mean, Navajot Singh Sidhu got 73 runs, but Greg McDermott got 4 wickets that day. Graham Gooch was the top scorer of the World Cup. He got got 411 runs, I think. Graham Gooch got 471 runs, not 411. And Greg McDermott was the top wicket taker of the World Cup. He got 18 wickets. It was the first World Cup that West Indians didn't make the finals or even the semi-finals. The first two World Cups they won in 75 and 79, losing the 83 finals to India. But this World Cup, West Indies didn't even make the semi-finals, something very notable. And Pakistan and Australia played the first semi-final. I mean, Australia got around 267, and Pakistan was struggling at 38 for 3, and there was a 100 and something partnership between Imran Khan and Javed Miandar. Javed Miandar getting 70, Khan got 58, I think, and Pakistan were looking a bit like on course, but they lost their last 6 wickets for like 90 something runs, and Pakistan losing in that semi-final. So Australia went to the finals. In the and in that match, I mean, they lost by 19 runs. And Steve-O, I mean, when batting first, Australia, Steve-O had scored 18 runs of the last over of Salim Jaffer. I mean, that was notable because Pakistan lost by 19 runs and they conceded 18 runs in that last over. So that's something notable. The second semi-final was between India and England. I remember that match very well. I was like 4 years old watching that match, but I'll never forget. I mean, Graham Gooch got 100 and Mike Gatting got a 50 as well, and they had, I think, a 112-run partnership. And there was a lot of sweeps against Maninder Singh and Ravi Shastri. I mentioned it in one of my videos once, and they got a very good total in those days, 250s, around 250s plus. And India batting second, Mohammad Azharuddin getting some runs. And India looked like India were on course. I mean, India needed only 51 runs to win in the last 10 overs with 5 wickets in hand. But India lost the last 5 wickets for just 15 runs. And obviously collapsing from there, and England winning that match, so going to the finals. So the finals was Australia against England in that Reliance World Cup. And David Boone got 75 runs in the finals. Very important innings. And batting second, I mean, England looked like they were on course at a time when Mike Gatting was batting. But even in those days, the sweep shots had just started. And I was said in that semi-finals, they played a lot of sweep shots, Graham Gooch and Mike Gatting. But when he was on 43 or something, Gatting looking good in the partnership, 60-something. Mike Gatting played a reverse sweep and he got out, and that totally lost the momentum for England. And even Alan Lamb got around 40-something that day. Alan Lamb is also a South African born, by the way. And England losing their way after looking good in the finals after those few partnerships. And Australia winning just by 7 runs. That was the closest match in the world at the World Cup to that date. I mean, even today, I think that's the closest win, just by 7 runs. And that finals was played at Eden Gardens, Calcutta. So one of the memorable grounds for Australia, and the captain obviously was Alan Border. A lot of people, especially from the older generation, will never forget Alan Border holding the Reliance Cup in his hands. And I remember, I mean, something that I have to mention. Once when I was doing my MBA, there was a topic about leadership, and the professor was talking about transformational leadership. And he said, does anyone have any examples? And I stood up and I said, Alan Border. And he asked me, why do you say that? So I thought maybe he didn't know the cricket well. So I said, well, Alan Border took the captaincy of Australia in that time. They were in kind of in shambles. I mean, they were in one of the top teams. I mean, after all the retirement in the 70s, late 70s, Dennis Lilly, Thompson, I mean, Ian Chappell, all those players, Australia were in a bit of bother at that time, and Australia were not one of the best teams in the world. But Alan Border took the captaincy, and then he totally transformed that team. I mean, he won the World Cup for Australia in 1987, their first World Cup, obviously. And even the professor was saying, I mean, that is an excellent answer. I'm just saying because that is what a transformational captain is. Someone who takes up the leadership when it is totally down and he turns it around completely. I mean, so Alan Border, for kids learning, I mean, anyone learning something besides cricket as well, it's that's what a transformational leader is. I mean, and that's what Alan Border was. And Australia went from strength to strength after that. And I mean, even Shane Warne, Glenn McGraw coming into the team. And then Australia became an unbeatable team in the 90s and 2000s, obviously. Then Steve O. Before that, the great captain Mark Taylor was also there. But Alan Border is also the captain that brought Shane Warne into the team and showed a lot of confidence in him. The first test match that Shane Warne played against India, he got the wicket of Ravi Shastri when Ravi Shastri got a double century in Sydney, and he went for 150 odd runs and just took one wicket. And a lot of captains would have probably abandoned him, but Alan Border kept his confidence in Shane Warne. So that's one of the big things Alan Border has done in his career. I mean, grooming Shane Warne into a great cricketer. So that's it from me. The World Cup history, my fourth World Cup of this World Cup history video. 1987 World Cup won by Australia at Eden Gardens, Calcutta, under the great Alan Border. And that is a World Cup when Steve O slowly started getting into himself. He was young at that point. Dean Jones was in the team, Jeff Marsh, David Boone, and Greg McDermott, one of my favorite bowlers in that time. I mean, he's someone who captured my imagination in those times. I still remember that semi-finals against Pakistan, Greg McDermott taking wickets, and he was the highest wicket again, 18 wickets. Graham Gooch, 471 runs, was the highest wicket taker. But anyway, that's it from me, the fourth World Cup. I hope you enjoy a little bit of history, and I hope this Afghanistan-Australia match continues Afghanistan's way. Well done for scoring 291 runs. Last 5 overs, 50 runs, and now taking 4 Australian wickets. Australia are on the ropes, and Afghanistan have played Noor Ahmed as well. So looking forward to seeing Afghanistan complete this match well. So anyway, thanks for joining in. Take care, and I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless you.